Hey guys, Mason here, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to take your product shot from this to this. When I first started making my own product videos, I always seemed to be left wondering what it was I was doing wrong. I see creators like Austen and Daniel Schiffer making the most amazing product videos with such little effort, and it always begged the question, what are they doing that I'm not? One of the best examples of this is when you're working with a black backdrop, especially when you're looking for an endless, vast look. Only recently did I realize that to achieve this, you should be following a few basic steps. Let's dive in. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be dropping a ton of content just like this designed to help you grow as a filmmaker. Step 1. Pick your room. When shooting a product shot like this, I like to pick a big open room. It's important that the room you choose is open with tall ceilings. This will leave you lots of room to work. The room you pick doesn't have to be fancy, and the fewer windows it has, the better. For this reason, I'm shooting this in my basement. Step 2. Choose the right backdrop. For this type of shot, you're going to want to pick a backdrop with very little shine. That way, your lights won't reflect off of it. Here, I'm using black fabric, but you can use construction paper or Savage backdrop rolls for a more premium option. Just make sure that the backdrop is big enough to cover enough space on the wall so you don't have chunks of wall showing in your frame. Step 3. Setting up your work surface. Now that we've picked our room and set up our backdrop, it's time to figure out our work surface. I'll be using a table with a mirror on it for that clean reflection. When doing this, it's important to make sure you have enough space between your backdrop and your work surface. I like to keep at least 6 feet of distance between my work surface and the backdrop. Not only will this create depth, it also keeps my light from spilling onto my background. Step 4. The key light. For my key light, I'll be using my Aperture 300D with an octagonal softbox on it. Now, I'll add another layer of diffusion to enlarge the light source and smooth out those highlights on the bottle. Already, I can tell this is going to look great, but to take this up a notch, we need to keep even more light from spilling onto our backdrop. Step 5. Directing the light. For this, I'll be using a white panel that I had kicking around. By placing the panel like this, we're blocking light from spilling onto our background while directing it. Step 6. Adding backlight. For an even more dynamic look, we can add a backlight. For this, I'll be using my Godox SL60 with another octagonal diffuser on it. I'll be placing my backlight slightly to the right so it also fills in the dark side of the bottle. Now, you should have a product shot that's perfectly lit and a background that's looking vast and endless. But let's not stop there. Step 7. Directing the backlight. When you aim a light directly at your camera's sensor like this, you tend to lose a lot of contrast. To avoid this, I'll be using another white panel to block the light from spilling onto the sensor while directing even more light onto the shadow side of the bottle. Step 8. Focal length. When people shoot a wide establishing shot like this, they tend to shoot it between 24 and 35 millimeters. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, but I think we can take it up a notch to the next level by shooting this between 85 and 105 millimeters. Not only is this going to create more depth in the image, it's also going to create an even more crushed black background. I also find that by doing this, our product has a really nice presence and appears a little bit more heroic. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the next video where we'll be showing you how to take this shot and turn it into a compelling sequence. And remember, we make these videos for you, so if there's a topic you want to see us cover, let us know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next one.